गौरांग गंधर्व गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रचित शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रचित शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रचित शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रचित शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अश्वत रचित शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौर किशोरदास बाबा जी महाराज की जाय। नित्यालीला प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम अचय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट विदात गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत जय। श्री दैनिक नदिया प्रकाश की jai, jai. All the periodicals of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada and his followers ki jai. Everybody in his line ki jai. Jai, the editor of Shri Dainik Nadīyā Prakāśa, Nityal Pravishya Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Swaparshad Srila Prabhupada ki jai. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll do a short Mangala Charan and then we'll begin. Say. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udhritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdhi Gahana Sukham Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastra Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhin Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Bhaktya vihina aparadalakshay kshiptashtakama ditaranga madhe kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charana ravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. Nri Hari Prabhu and Pavatarani Mataji. Hare Krishna. Shri Devi Mataji, Champak Mataji, Anjali Didi, and Śrīvāsa Prabhu. Hari Bol. And Raseshwari Mataji on YouTube. Hare Krishna. All right, so we are continuing on with our Sunday Dainika Nadīyā Prakāśa reading. This is our 9th session, I think. And I'm gonna hand it over to Śrīvāsa now.
Mm-hmm.
And I should start off every time. All these articles that we're reading right now are available on nadiyaprakāsh.com. NADIYAPRAKASH.com. You can find all the articles there. All
right. So this is number 17. Well, okay. Not that we've read 17, but 17 issues that 17th of the issues that I've translated.
I'm just curious, how many issues have you translated? Like, are we like halfway through what you translated yet? Or are we like...
Yeah, I'm actually a little nervous about that because we're like starting to get up to the halfway point. It's been a couple of weeks since there's been kind of a pause in my translation. I'm like, oh, I need to get working again to stay well ahead of this.
So this program's kind of like a bit like a fire under your butt.
Like, I've done plenty, I'll be fine. Actually, can I share my screen?
I thought I gave permission, didn't I? Yeah.
You did. Okay. All right. Here we go. So, Shri Guru Gaurango Jayataha. 6th of Caitra, Monday, 1334, or March 19th, 1928.
And could you enlarge it for those watching on their phones so they could see the text?
Oh, that's too much. Okay, that's about right. To our Hindu and Muslim brothers. Nowadays, we see conflict between Hindus and Muslims almost everywhere. Some people say the cause of the conflicts is politics. Some say religion. Others say that Muslims cannot find work in all sectors, and that is why this sort of bad blood has developed. No matter what anyone says from their acquaintance with the world, we will say that aversion to Bhagavan is the root cause for the sectarian hatred between Hindu and Muslim brothers. Hindus do not love Bhagavan, and neither do Muslims. If either of them knew how to love Bhagavan even a little bit, then I am Hindu, I can hate Muslims, or I am Muslim, I can hate Hindus. This sort of narrow-mindedness would not even be able to find a place in their hearts. They used to know that we are all children of one world father, Jagat Pita in Bengali. Everyone is bound by the bond of brotherhood. When everyone's self-interest is Swartha Gati Bhagavan, Bhagavan, the destination of all self-interest, or what is best for everyone, then why would this conflict find a place amongst us? Muslim brothers, you say you offer namaz to Khoda. Hindu brothers, you say you perform upasana of Bhagavan. But we say, if you cannot love Bhagavan and his greatest servant, the Jiva, then neither of you are calling out to Bhagavan in your namaz or your upasana. Brothers, take shelter at the feet of a real teacher and hear the message of God. You will become magnanimous. Then you will be able to embrace all the inhabitants of the world as your own. Rather than dumping water on each and every leaf, water the root. From that, all the branches and leaves will flourish. Otherwise, all efforts will be like making offerings of ghee into ashes. No one should cultivate hatred of another's process of worship. Foremost of Mahajans, Thakur Bhaktivinoda, has given us this instruction. This is in Sharanagati, isn't it? Or is it somewhere else? Kenoar koro dvesh, videshi jana bhaj.
It is Gitavali in the section Shreya Nirnay, the last song of Shreya Nirnay.
Bhajaner linga nana deshe, nana jane, keho mukta kache bhaje, keho hatu gadi puje, keho va nayan mudi thake, brahma aradhane, keho yogasane puje, keho sankirtane majhe, sakale bhajije se ekmatra bhagavane, ateva bratri bhav, thako sabe susadbhav, shuddha bhakti sadhu sada, e jivane va marane. Why do you insist on loathing foreign ways of worship? Worship has different forms in different countries among different people. Some worship with free abandon, some on their hands and knees. Others close their eyes and meditate and worship the infinite presence of God. Some worship via their yoga and asana. Others immerse themselves in sankirtan. Everyone is worshiping the same God. Therefore, brothers, maintain cordial dealings with all. Strive always for pure devotion in this life or death.
Oh, I think I'm going to steal this translation for Gori Giti Gucha. Sorry. We're going to keep publishing this. Yeah.
Mukta Kache is interesting because, as far as I understand, Kache means underwear. So you could translate this as some people worship without underwear, but
oh, wow.
a more maybe appropriate translation is people worship with abandon.
That is funny.
Maybe it's a reference to the Naga Babas. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
The victory of truth. How much longer can the truth be kept suppressed by saying truth is falsehood and falsehood is truth? One day or another, you yourself will lift the lid on the truth. There's a kind of trend in the world where a person thinks, the truth I am seeing right in front of my eyes, that is the pure, authentic truth. But if I turn a little, well, that other thing is not false, but those big, swaggering truth tellers kicking the world in the chest, making the earth shudder under their stomping feet, tomorrow you might see them charged with being the most heinous liars, feet shackled in jail, faces downcast, looking at the ground. The language is really rich sometimes. And on the other hand, there are those whom today the world has mistakenly labeled as liars, and thereby the world has suppressed the truth. And in time, when the world's error is eradicated, they will recognize those people as having told the truth and have to beg forgiveness from them. This is the state of the world that is driven by the mental machinations of blindly accepting and rejecting. Therefore, O brothers, don't rise up in a sudden frenzy of excitement. Take some time to reflect with a steady mind. Don't just laugh and toss aside the words of world-revered saintly Mahajans, exalted personalities, all at once. That will not affect the sadhus and Mahajans. That will spell your ruin. You will become offenders at the feet of the Mahajans and take refuge in hell for all eternity. A little bit of hellfire early in the morning. If you call a thief, the thief and people like him may feel a bit hurt for the time being. But the outcome of that will be auspicious. 1 second, I'm going to process that. Yes, okay. Seeing the example made of them, another 5 innocent people will not let themselves turn bad. They will have been cautioned, and the thief will have a chance to rectify his character. Similarly, if you keep the truth covered, nothing is going to happen to the truth itself, but innocent people, unable to know what the truth is, will choose falsity and thus engage with something greatly destructive for them. If truth is propagated, some short-term inconvenience may arise, but the result will bring good. Brothers, do not try to hinder the propagation of truth anymore. Engage in truthful discourse. Leave the delusion of falsity. Do not be compelled by stubbornness to invoke your own inauspiciousness. Even if you do not get the result of aparad, offense, right away, do not think aparad to be some trivial thing and engage again in making aparad. Aparad has terrible consequences. No one but the person you have offended can forgive the offense you have made. Śrīvāsa one day committed an offense at the feet of Ambarish and was given a proper lesson on this. Heed the words of the Mahajans. Do not disbelieve the words of the Mahajans and accrue offenses at their lotus feet. The Mahajans are Śrī Gaur Sundar and his eternally... Okay, the Mahajans are means it includes Śrī Gaur Sundar and his eternally perfected associates. Mahajano yena gata sa pantha. That means follow the path of the Mahajans. Okay, next is a bit of a story. Dharmera Kāhinī, story of Dharma. And this is, I guess it was a submission. Somebody wrote in and submitted this. Hey, this guy's kid I see is climbing up to the top of this bamboo. Hey, someone help, catch him. He's going to fall and die. Hearing Singhi Mahashai's words, his companion, Dhiren Babu, so Singhi Mahashai is very lion-like, he's very fiery. His companion, Dhiren Babu, is a bit more steady and composed. Dhiren Babu began saying, what are you saying, Singhi Mahashai? Do you know what kind of astounding courage that kid has? One day, he was watching a play with Naren, Keshav's son, and said, look, Naren, Narad Muni dressed up as Keshto's devotee. Keshto means Krishna. This is Bengali slang for Krishna, Keshto. And has become worshipful for men and even demigods. So many people are offering obeisance to him. They're giving him so much to eat. If I could dress up like Narad, then I too would become worshipful to everyone. How many rasagollas and how much sandesh could I eat? Okay, you go home, brother. I'm going to try to see if I can become Narad. Hearing this, Naren was speechless and went home laughing to himself. Oh, Baba. So, next we see, one day, he has tilak on his nose, a begging basket, and tulsi beads around his neck. He's wearing saffron robes, and he has arrived at our house. My mother could not recognize him and asked him, Baba, who are you? Where are you coming from? What do you want? He wanted money or something to eat, so he started saying, I'm Narad Muni, devotee of Keshto. I am coming from Vaikuntha. I need some sandesh to offer bhog to Narayan. My mother is a big Krishna devotee, so if she sees tilak on anyone's face, she shows them great honor and devotion. She was thinking, wow, how fortunate I am today. Sri Narayan is so pleased with me today that he has sent this child, Narad, to accept my service. Thinking like this, she bowed very devotionally to the boy and gave him many things. When he received all those things, he was thrilled and was thinking, I've learned such a good trick. I can earn so much money like this and eventually become very rich. Dhiren Babu, said Singhi Mahashai, what are you saying? This boy who has just barely stopped nursing is thinking like a cunning adult? This is why he is climbing the bamboo? I have understood that irreligion has arisen in the world, so there is no more honor for saintly persons. People who do not know Shastra are revering and choosing makal fruit. I think we read about makal fruit earlier. Bitter red ball snake gourd that's black and bitter inside. You can look it up. It's quite astonishing looking fruit. Dharma has ascended the tops of the bamboo and no one can reach it. Con men are dressing up like sadhus to fill their bellies and collecting money from gentlefolk. And this boy has imitated them. Hearing Singhi Mahashai say this, Dhiren Babu began to say, look, now there are religious scams wherein many people dress up as Vaishnavas and recite Bhagavat in the homes of big wealthy people, getting them to donate gold and silver jewelry to their wives. This is really putting your finger in someone's eye, unabashedly showing them how bogus you are. Just really putting it in the eye. That is why there is no more regard for religion in the world. Even truly humble, detached devotees of Bhagavan who are striving with all their hearts to preach the truth get called fakes by people of the world. Alas, Kali, alas, your feats make me speechless. Look, the victory of Dharma and defeat of Adharma has been going on forever, age after age. The evil Rakshasa king Ravan dressed up as a sannyasi and stole the wives of others, tormented the saintly and innocent, and committed so many sins in hatred of the demigods. But Bhagavan, who destroys Adharma, destroyed him along with his whole dynasty. King Yudhishthir was avowedly dedicated to the truth, and he had conquered his senses. The evil Duryodhan satisfied Durvasa with phony devotion in order to get Yudhishthir to deviate from Dharma. That is how, on Duryodhan's request, the sage arrived in the night with his disciples in Kamyavan as guests of the Pandavas. Though Durvasa Muni was such a powerful sage, he could not destroy the Pandavas' Atithya Dharma, honoring of guests. Instead, the sage was defeated and embarrassed by them. No matter what exaggerated attempts the wicked make to harm the saintly, they are surely vanquished in times, even if the wicked use the saintly people, like Duryodhan used Durvasa, right? Still, they're vanquished. Those who fasten tight their belts and are preaching the word of truth, like King Yudhishthir, are always victorious, no matter what violence wicked people inflict on them. Thus, I say, is the victory of Dharma and fall of Adharma. So tighten up your belts, folks, and keep speaking the truth. I love all the different expressions. Climbing to the tops of bamboos and bamboozling people. Śrī Caitanya Kathā. Do you want to read one?
Sure I can. Yeah, 1 second. Let me just. Yeah, I love the language is so lively.
Yeah, I feel like I'm having all the fun here.
Okay, Śrī Caitanya Kathā. Where is it? Okay. The appearance of Nadīyā Prakāśa, the manifestation of Godhead in Nadīyā, was to teach how to chant Harinam. Though he was Vrajendranandan Sri Krishna himself, he did not introduce himself as Bhagavan. Instead, he said, I am like you, a servant of the servant of Bhagavan. And if someone called him Bhagavan, he would put his hands over his ears and say, I am an insignificant jiva. You should not refer to a jiva as Krishna. If you equate Krishna with anything or anyone else, it is an offense. Though he was Bhagavan himself, he concealed his identity and came to us as a devotee. That is his infinite mercy upon the jivas. If he had come to us blacksmiths and said, I am Krishna himself, worship me, you should all chant my name, no one would have listened to him. They would have assumed that Krishna lacked something that led them to leave. They would have assumed that Krishna lacked something that led him to leave Vaikuntha and come to us to fulfill some purpose of his own. In this way, various people would have had various opinions and not hear about Krishna. But that Krishna came in the garb of a devotee as Gaur and flooded the world in prem and made the conditioned souls understand that the association of devotees is more important for them than that of Bhagavan. because by the mercy of the devotees, our desires for enjoyment go away and our desire to serve Krishna grows strong. Then we can see Bhagavan. Prior to that, like Kamsa, Shishupal, Jarasandha, Ravan, and Hiranyakashipu, though we may see Bhagavan, we do not really see him. The happiness devotees have when they see Krishna, the bliss the gopis felt when they beheld Krishna, that joy, that prem was something Agga, Baka, and Putana could not feel. For them, to see Krishna or not is the same. Until we develop prem, we cannot be happy even if we see Krishna. Instead, we think he is an ordinary human being like us and commit offenses at his feet. As a result of offenses, we reap the sorrows of samsara, or a fate like that of Agga, Baka, and Putana, or suffering that is worse than the miseries of samsara. Well, the fate of Agga, Baka, and Putana, well, especially of Putana, was pretty great, wasn't it? Sorry. Okay.
Still have to get killed.
Yes, that is true. Yes. But if we associate with devotees, we have no more fear of offenses. When we develop the inclination to serve Krishna, then we will be able to chant Krishna's name. Then the holy name will not seem like just a sound to be uttered by our fleshy tongue. We will not think some sculptor carved the object of our service, our Sri Krishna, our golden Gauranga. We will not perceive objects related to Krishna as things wrought of this mundane realm. We will not think of prasad as lentils, rice, and vegetables. We will not judge Vaishnavas by their caste as the offspring of so-and-so. This is why scriptures have said that the service of Krishna's devotees is greater than service to Krishna. Sri Gaurasundar has also said that if you chant the name of Krishna, you have to understand Krishna's form, qualities, pastimes, and associates. If we think we will serve Krishna but not his associates, then we will end up having a mundane conception of the name, and then there will be no more name, just offenses to the name. Look, though Nam Aparad and Nam may look the same, there is a difference of heaven and hell between them. Without the association of devotees, we cannot understand that. That is why Ramanuja, who is a king among devotees, has said, "O Lord, I beg this boon from you, that I may have attachment to the names of your devotees." Beautiful. Without the mercy of the devotees, one cannot do Harinam. For those who chant Harinam or worship Hari while thinking that Bhagavan and all that is related to him is accessible to our senses, or that Vaishnavas are ordinary human beings who can be judged on the basis of their caste or race, Mahaprabhu has said, "Koti janma kore jadi shravana kirtan, tabu to na pai Krishna pade premadhan." Even if they hear and chant for millions of births, they still do not achieve the treasure of divine love for Krishna. Wow, so beautiful and strong.
It's really an internal process, eh? So we're chanting, we're not to be perceiving it at all with our senses. It's what just supposed to be going on at the soul level. It's like almost hard to conceive of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and both kinds of nam are identical externally. So, but yeah, difference of heaven and hell. Right.
All right, so Jagat, O Dham, the worlds and the holy abode. That which does not endure for eternal time, that with which we do not have an eternal connection, that is the world. This visible world is but the corrupted reflection of the Dham. Therefore, whatever exists in the Dham is seen in the visible world in a corrupted form. In the Dham, the Sevya, object of service, is one. All others are his sevaks, servants. But in the world, there are many Sevyas and sevaks. In the Śrī Dham, striving for the happiness of the Sevya Vastu is the self-interest of the sevak. In the world, the self-interests of the seva, of the Sevya and the sevak are of innumerable varieties. Here, the sevak will give up the service of the Sevya if doing so obstructs his own happiness. Moreover, there is no permanence for the Sevya and sevak here. Here, everything is adultery. A wife may serve her husband, but for her own self-interest. What the husband wants and what the wife wants is not the same. A father and mother love their son, and the son shows devotion to his parents, but that too is not devoid of selfish interests. The behavior of the Śrī Dham is not pervaded by such infidelities. The behavior there is like this. Nagani apana dukkha sabe banchi tar sukha mor tatparya. More yadi dile dukkha tar hoela maha sukha. Se dukkha mor sukha varya. No one there keeps track of their own troubles. Everyone wants his pleasure. His pleasure is my purpose, they think. If giving me pain gives him great pleasure, then that sorrow of mine is the best kind of happiness. The universe, composed of 14 realms, is part of this visible world. Among them, Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, Maha, Jana, Tapa, and Satya. These 7 are upper realms. Pious householders who hanker for the results of their actions go to Bhulok, Bhuvalok, or Swalok when they die. Above these 3 worlds, Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, and Satyalok, these 4 realms are attainable by Naishtik, resolute lifelong brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and yatis, sannyasis. The aforementioned 7 realms are not eternal. All of these are such that once one's pious credits have run out, one must re-enter the realm of mortals. These sorts of destinations are the best of a bad deal for the jivas. Besides these, there is another category of people who long for salvation. The place they can attain is Brahmalok. This place also is not free from fear. During the latter half of the universal cycle, when Brahma's life comes to an end, they must again come into the realm of mortals and be subjected to happiness and distress. However, that place from which the jivas never have to return, where there is no mundane happiness or distress, no birth, old age, and death, where there is only bliss, that is Śrī Dham. The Śrī Dham is very difficult to achieve for the aforementioned karmi, yogi, and jnani. They do not have qualification to enter the Śrī Dham. Only the devotees have qualification for the Śrī Dham. It is the Vaibhav, opulence of Bhagavan's form. Bhagavan is eternally situated in a realm beyond the reach of the material energy, but has mercy on the conditioned souls and incarnates within the material realm. But he does not become trapped by material qualities like the jivas, despite entering the material realm. Śrī Dham is the same. Though the Śrī Dham exists within the material world, it is not confined by mundane time, place, and circumstances. Just as Bhagavan assumes a form but does not lose his omnipresence, the Śrī Dham appears in this world. And though it appears to the limited vision of conditioned souls to be like materially limited places like Calcutta, Bardhaman, etc., in reality, it is not confined by such limitations. The mundane moon and sun illuminate the material world. By the aid of the moon and sun, we can see worldly objects. But the moon and sun cannot illuminate the Śrī Dham. It cannot be seen by the light of the material world. That abode is illuminated by Brahmalok. the effulgence of Bhagavan's limbs. By the mercy of a bona fide guru, once the sun of transcendental knowledge arises from the spiritual identity of the jiva, then very quickly he can behold the true form of the Śrī Dhāma. We have stated previously that there is no birth and death in Śrī Dhāma, no effect of time there. Even in the Navadvip, Vrindavan, Dwarka, Mathura, and other dhams that are present on this earth, there is no birth, death, etc. So why do we see the effects of time in those places then? Why is there happiness and distress there, like in the rest of the material world? The answer to this is a little difficult. Those like us who are subject to birth and death and bring our own material conceptions of sense gratification to the Śrī Dhāma and live there are not Dham Vasis. Though we see them or ourselves as living in the Dham, they're not actually living in the Dham. Read the words of the Mahajans on this subject and reflect. Dhama madhya kabu nahi jara avasthiti, jara baddha jiva nahi pai heta gati. Dhamera upare jara maya pati jal, acha diya rakhi ei dham chirakal. Śrī Krishna Caitanya jar nahi kasambandha, jaler upare bas kare se andha. Mane bhabe ami achi navadvip pure, proda maya mugdha kari rakhe tare dure. Within the Dham, there is never material existence. No jiva bound by mundanity can make it there. Inert Maya throws a veil over the Dham and keeps it covered for eternity. Those who have no relationship with Śrī Krishna Caitanya dwell above the veil as if blind. They think they are in Navadvip. Proda Maya, however, keeps them enchanted and at a distance.
I wonder if that was a quote from Navadvip Mahatma. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't give any references, ever. Yeah, it's interesting, Dham Tattva. It's helpful to be reminded of that clearly, especially if we're frequently staying in the Dham.
Yes.
Skimming the surface, or at least I am. Guru-giri, Ākkela-selāmī. Penalty of folly for fake gurus. One Guru Thakur has made many disciples. His material life is run quite happily and effortlessly with the donation he collects from his disciples. This Guru Thakur has one gem of a son. There is no end to his good qualities. Now between 17 to 18 years of age, he has learned to consume all manner of intoxicants. He even consorts with other men's wives. This is the Guru's only son to carry on his legacy. The father doesn't say anything. He says, he'll figure it out. Everything will be fine. Look, what didn't we do when we were kids? And what vices have we been able to refrain from even now? It is needless to say that Thakur Mahashai does not abstain from fish, red meat, pan, tobacco, or anything of the sort, but consumes these things secretly. He has a business as a guru. If he does not keep Narayan in his home, his disciples will think poorly of that. So he has a Shalagram Shila. When he is home, he does some puja, offers water, tulsi, some puffed rice and sugar balls, maybe some special bananas. But when he goes to his disciples' homes, then the Shila goes many days without that even. When his disciples come to his home, then for a few days, the deity is given proper annabhog offerings. He, the Thakur Mahashai, eats non-vegetarian food. So does he not make separate cooking arrangements for the offerings made to the deity? When the disciples come, then he needs to show some standard of purity. So he arranges for ghee, saindava salt, that's a rock salt, sun-dried rice, etc. And that too, all on his disciples' dime. This Thakur Mahashai has gone to his disciples' house today, seen the way he conducts himself. Who will not say he has descended directly from Vaikuntha? Thakur Mahashai has big, fat Tulsi neck beads around his neck, tilak imprints all over his body, a bead bag in his hands, silken cloth to wear, the Lord's name stamped on his body, cloth shoes, the name of Hari in his mouth again and again, eyes partially closed as if he is in some profound state of ecstasy. And from time to time he exclaims, "Oh Hari, I will die just now without your darshan," and faints. What a state of ecstatic, mad prem. Thakur Mahashai has gone to one of his disciples' house in this state. People have come running from every direction and given him a place to sit. After a little rest, the foot washing began. It just so happened that a brand new disciple started washing his guru's feet without having any vessel to collect the water in. Gurudev was a bit offended at this, a bit perturbed. This kid has no common sense, he thinks. So he says, "Are you going to let this rare substance go to waste? Have you gone blind?" The other disciples are like, "Oh, of course," and start rummaging around for pots, lotas, bowls, or pitchers like it is the end of the world, and collect the water that has washed their guru's feet. And even though they think it is disgusting, because they are in front of their guru, they drink a few drops for sure. After the foot washing pastime, Guru Thakur's full body bathing is conducted with great fanfare. I've never seen this. Gurudev came wearing one set of clothes and was bathed in them. He is not going to wear wet clothes, and he is not going to wear something his disciples have worn. So a new dhoti and chadar are arranged. After that, there is the puja and anik pastime. Oh, how vigorously the bell is rung. Disciples are ordered to offer copious amounts of incense and lamps. The ladies start cheering and blowing on conches. Bananas, mangoes, jackfruit, coconuts, pomelo, and other fruits, plus sun-dried rice and other items start to come from all directions. Some brought dhotis, chadars, gamchas, and others brought money and started throwing it. One disciple said, "Thakur Mahashai, shall I cut up this fruit to offer to the deity?" But what good would cut up fruit be to him? So the Thakur jumps and says, "What are you doing? I offered everything mentally to Bhagavan already. He accepted everything and kept it all as it was. Do you have the eyes to see such things?" The innocent disciples fall silent. Guru Thakur shouts quite a lot and then says, "Puja is over. Now arrange for bhoga." The disciples had cleaned the bhoga area very nicely and arranged big lidded pots and everything. Since their guru was coming to their home, they had arranged for a grand feast. Many people had been invited. Everyone wanted to eat food cooked by their Gurudev's own hand. It wouldn't do to get someone else to do the cooking. So Gurudev has to do the cooking, as well as the distribution and everything else. After so long, the disciples will be blessed to eat Gurudev's prasad. Gurudev saw the situation he had walked into was a disaster. What to do? If the disciples did not eat prasad, they wouldn't want to give donations. Fearing this, he exerted himself greatly to cook the bhoga, offered it, and did all the distribution after that. Though outwardly he was glorifying the disciples' devotion to their guru, he began devising with his disciples how they might arrange to obtain Krishna for real, and began saying to himself, "What sins have I committed in my previous life for which I have to endure this phony guru business? It is punishment." He had to go through so much effort to cook. It was really exhausting for him. Anyhow, after much excessive exertion, Guru Thakur ate a little something and rested. Then he took whatever donations he received and returned home. Readers should not think this is just a story. This is written based on actual events. Guruvo bahava santi shishya vittapaharakaha durlava sadguru devi shishya santapaharakaha. There are many gurus who just steal the wealth of their disciples. Very rare is it to find a guru who can eliminate the actual sufferings of the disciples. One can see from the article above that this Guru's relationship with his disciples was based on donations. All the efforts of service to Bhagavan he demonstrated to his disciples were for donations. That Guru, who is always immersed in sense gratification at home, in eating non-vegetarian food, and in illicit relations with women, puts on a deceitful show of devotion in front of his disciples or at their homes. What good can the jivas gain by receiving mantras from such a person? Can a blind man show another blind man where to go? Both fall in the well. Our prayer is that intelligent people seeking the highest good free themselves from the fearsome clutches of these businessmen gurus and take shelter at the feet of a real guru. That was an interesting one, huh?
Yeah.
And now for the news. At present, in France, efforts are being made to treat deafness with the aid of the stethoscope. There has been success in many cases. I don't know what that means. Howrah attorney Śrī Caitanya Kathā has brought a charge of libel against the editor of the Statesman magazine, Mr. A.H. Watson, for an article published in the Statesman last August that made shameful accusations about the character of Indian widows. Howrah's magistrate refused the case on the basis of several excuses, such as the article not having been written by any particular individual. At this, an appeal was made on behalf of the Hooghly judge. The judge pointed out the errors in the magistrate's judgment and ordered that the case be pursued with all due diligence. Shriukta Bhuvanamohan Ghatak Mahashai is the clerk of Dhaka's Loha Ganj Union Board. His wife gave birth to a son and then 15 days later gave birth to another son. Amazingly, the mother was not able to understand that she was going to give birth again. The first son died 3 days after birth. The second is still alive. That's just bizarre. Eh?
Wait, she had a baby in her for 15 days and didn't realize it?
Yeah, but then the first one died, and then the second one survived, which is kind of amazing.
Huh. Okay.
A petition has come to the Sialda Police Magistrates Court outlining that one Himmat Ali Rahman abducted a young Hindu married girl named Paridasi from her father's house and traveled many places before finally keeping her in Kardaha. In response to the petition, the magistrate has issued summons for the abducted girl to appear in court. Paridasi has been found and brought to the court. The case is ongoing. Chief Justice of the High Court in the northwesternmost regions, Sir Henry George Richards, has left his body. He served as the Chief Justice from 1905 till 1911. Cause of death was a fall of some sort. Mr. Venkataram Shastri, a former member of the Madras government, assumed his position last Saturday, but then resigned this past Tuesday. Reports are that Mr. A.Y.G. Campbell is temporarily working in his stead. The Board of Trade has reported that between January and February, the export of goods decreased by an amount of nearly 3 crore rupees, worth 57,036,148 pounds worth of goods were exported from England to other countries in February. Nabhaz Maharaj has summoned the High Court attorney, Mr. K. Bhaimak, to discuss future duties, which suggests the Maharaj's health is good. He was simply anguished by the absence of his wife and son. In Calcutta, a man named Subodh Chandra Mukhopadhyay of Ramakanta Mystery Lane was hit by a train while crossing the rail tracks near the south cabin of Dum Dum Junction Station. He died on the way to the hospital. This upcoming Saturday, March 24th, Shriukta Subhash Chandra Bose and Maulvi Syed Jalaluddin Hussaini will be traveling to Kushtia for a Congress event. One Abdul Wahid, an inspector in the corporation's lighting department, lives on Hugul Kuriya Lane. Near his residence is a brothel that is frequented by a man named Akhtar Uddin, who almost every night starts shouting and disturbs the peace of the neighborhood. Last Tuesday night, Inspector Sahib, feeling greatly disturbed, tried to stop Akhtar from creating such a commotion, which led to Inspector Sahib getting stabbed. Hearing the injured man's cries, police came and arrested Akhtar Uddin and sent the inspector to hospital. Investigation is ongoing. Sorry. Funny. In Kashi, a motor vehicle accident has occurred. It has been 2 or 3 days since a speeding motor lorry flipped over and injured 2 women and several others. There is no counting the number of accidents like this that are occurring every day due to the negligence or inexperience of drivers. This is like a new phenomena kind of for Indian society, you know, motor vehicles and accidents. And it's like, you know, I guess now we're just kind of desensitized to it.
Yeah.
The police officer that was stationed on guard at Police Sahib Rai Bahadur J.N. Mukherjee's house was shot in the mouth. Reports are that he committed suicide. After the Shuddhi festival, Miss Miller and others reached Khandwa on their way to Barwaha from Nasik on March 14th. She was accompanied by Princess Savitribai, Sir Tukoji Rao's sister, and Captain Yadava. Sir Tukoji Rao's older sister, Princess Tara, was taking darshan of the temple and other holy sites in Nashik.
Miss Miller's been in almost every issue, hasn't she, so far?
Yeah. And like there'll be like a couple stories, actually. There's another one here.
Huh.
Sir Tukoji Rao's marriage with Miss Miller was performed at a magnificent palace on the banks of the Narmada River tributary in Barwaha this past Saturday, March 17th. Thousands and thousands of people were invited. Sir Tukoji Rao's 2 stepmothers and the Holkar family's Colonel Lenbert are in Barwaha. Barwaha city is not bad. Every year, almost 35,000 bales of cotton are exported. Like, it means it has a good economy. The population of the city is roughly 7,000. This past March 14th, from morning until almost noon, London was covered in a dense fog. At that very time, machines in the electric powerhouse malfunctioned, so portions of the city, including Charing Cross Station, were without electricity, which made the city look as dark as a new moon night. The Afghan royal couple were delighted to see this. However, when the royal couple went to honor their invitation for refreshments at Guildhall, the skies had cleared up somewhat. The Duke and Duchess of York, Prince Henry, Prince Arthur, the Connaught Princess, and several other dignitaries were at the luncheon. The Lord Mayor, with due respect, escorted the diplomats to the library. From there, Lord Mayor took Queen Soraya and Mayor's wife, took King Amanullah, and with all due cordiality, escorted them to the stage as the band played Afghan national music. Interesting, no?
Yeah, very interesting.
The Afghan queen, leaving her traditional attire, has adorned herself in European attire for her travels in Western countries. She is preparing outfits from the latest fashions in Paris. She has purchased frocks worth almost 3,200 euros or pounds for her travels in Europe. It is estimated that the expenses for this European tour will be at least £180,000 or more. As far as I know, this was the last king of Afghanistan, and he had to return like ahead of schedule to Afghanistan. I haven't researched this, but I think he was too modern, and this was too extravagant for the more conservative citizens of Afghanistan.
Huh. Interesting.
The search between New York and Newfoundland for the British aircraft flown by Captain Hinchcliffe has not been successful. Only an employee of the Western Union Cable Company in Heart's Content, Newfoundland, has reported seeing a single plane heading northwest. In the Durgapur area of Barishal district, a wealthy man named Nagarabasi Kundu was going by boat to Amrazuri on the occasion of his son's wedding with a great many people and fireworks on the boat. Towards the end of the night, as the boat reached Chandamari and Barishal, a tremendous explosion occurred. Everyone was asleep. Hearing its sudden, terrifying noise and feeling intense heat and flames against their limbs, everyone jumped into the river. In the morning, they were brought to Anandabasu's clinic. Everyone had burns all over their bodies, on their eyes, mouths, hands, feet, etc., creating a horrifying scene. Nagarabasi, Shukramali, and Ashwani Guha, these three individuals were burnt the most. As of last Thursday, one of them has reportedly died.
Something like that similar. No, sorry. Something like that recently happened at was it Narendra Sarovar? And
Really?
I think 3 people died from fireworks. Just like yeah.
During the festival.
Yeah, during the festival. Somehow like the container with all the fireworks got like ignited or whatever, and so then it just exploded like tons, like a whole big thing of fireworks exploded right next to all the people during the festival, like on the beginning during Chandan Yatra.
Oh my goodness. Yikes. Senate President Mr. Hussein Pasha has died. During the European World War, he was the Prime Minister of Egypt and provided special assistance to Britain.
Rukmini Didi said 15 people died. Wow, that's a lot.
Oh my God, what a nightmare scene right during Chandan Yatra. Members of the Bhatla Commission were to arrive today in Mysore. They will stay 2 days in Mysore and 2 days in Bangalore. Shriyuta Gandhi Mahashay's physical condition has deteriorated again. As of March 14th, he has traveled from Delhi to Ahmedabad with Dr. Ansari and Mr. Jamunalal Bajaj. The head of the Khadi Institute workshop said, prior to 1820, all the clothing in the country was made of khadi. In 1820, the first foreign yarn was imported into India. The first Deshi mill was established in Bajbaj in 1820. As rollers from crushing and separating hot, or I think that's supposed to be for crushing and separating rice from the husk, were introduced in rice mills, charka spinning mills came into use in the cotton mills. It has been heard that the Sarkar Bahadur is demonstrating, the government is demonstrating great sympathy in regard to the famine in Balurhat Rajshahi. He has, or I guess it's maybe the governor there, he has decided to abandon the claim for the loans given to farmers for seeds. Aside from this, he has allowed 8,000 taka to help alleviate the impact of the famine and allocated 30,000 taka to farmers for seed distribution. If the king's favor falls upon the common people, then there is no limit to the joy of the public. And then this is the health column. Home remedies, unfailing home remedies. Infant eye inflammation for nursing mothers, I guess. Crushing fresh or dry, if no alternative, bay leaves into breast milk and applying 2 to 3 drops to the eyes will give relief from eye irritation within a day. So breast milk can be medicinal.
Actually, no, this once happened to me. What is it called when, is it called pink eye? No, I forgot. Anyways, it happened to everybody. Like it started spreading around and like everybody started, is it called pink eye?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I got it also. And like every morning my eye would just be full of pus, would be like stuck closed, and it was like really gross. And Shamala Mataji, she said the best cure for that is breast milk. Like the best, and like so she was trying to get somebody to get like put breast milk, and I was like, and she said that it should come directly. It's like, no way in hell. This is alarm. This is when I was a teenager, and then finally she got somebody to like put some breast milk in a little cap or whatever. But yeah, anyways, it is a thing.
If the mud has pink eye, then they're going to be looking for nursing mothers to cure them all. I remember one time it happened in Keshivji also, when I was there.
Yeah, and everybody's wearing these glasses, right? Yeah. Like shit. Yeah.
Making an eye salve paste of honey and nirmali phal, available at the grocers, and applying it slightly inside the eyes with a feather. I thought that was interesting. Benefits the eyes. Using a feather, very gentle to apply to the eyes. You ever have to do anything with the eye? I thought maybe even for, and when you have something stuck in your eye, I thought that might be helpful for getting it out. Use a feather. Watering eyes. A few drops of one rati, as 0.003 bracket T ounces, or 0.113. Okay, I guess that's 0.4 grams. This is just, I had to look this up. That's what Google gave me. Of pitkari, alum, and 1 ounce of rose water applied to the eyes will alleviate watering of the eyes. Why would your eyes be watering? Maybe because it's smoky. I know in Canada, when we have forest fire season, which will be probably starting soon, maybe you have watery eyes because of the smoke. A single drop of 1 tola of lotus honey, or in the absence of that, any other honey, and 2 annas of Śrī Karpur, available in Puri, mixed well and applied into the eyes, will relieve unbearable eye pain, swollen eyes, blurred vision, watery eyes, and various other eye afflictions. Scabies. Eating the inner gel of aloe vera mixed with an equal amount of mishri every morning will heal you in a week. If this medicine is used, a significant amount is expelled, I think, because they're little bugs in the first 2 days, and then it gradually decreases. There is no need for external medication. Only clean with neem leaf water or carbolic soap and warm water. To be continued.
What? Oh, anyways, yeah. What is scabies?
They're like a little like microscopic bug that like burrows in your skin and makes it really itchy, and it's really gross actually. Yeah, it comes from like poor hygiene habits. You know, people not cleaning themselves. Okay. They're famous for them.
Jai Ho.
Jai Ho.
In Chaitanya Gaudiya Math.
Mm-hmm.
I remember every year we'd come out with another Raise of the Harmonists magazine, right? Like during Kartik time. And it was the most exciting thing when the magazine would come out, right? Like everybody'd be like, "Wow, we got the new Raise of the Harmonists magazine." But this is just a daily affair in Chaitanya Math, a new magazine with such like very interesting, exciting articles, and just every single day, nonstop. Just amazing. All right, so I guess I'll just...
Oh, you paused.
Oh, 1 second. Could you stop sharing? Oh, wait, there. I did.
Okay.
Okay, cool. 1 second. Just getting the mridanga. What happened to the mridanga? I just had it here. Yes, Shivananda Prabhu.
Which is this issue actually? Which date, or how can I find it on the Nadīyā Prakāśa website?
Yeah, it should have been published by now. It's the 6th of Caitra, Monday. And it should start with Hindu and Muslim brothers, to the Hindu and Muslim brothers. Should be. I'll see if I can find it.
And Shivananda, when we're reading the health column, if you ever have any insights, like if it's related to Ayurveda or anything like that, you could always share.
So actually, that's why I was asking, so I can read it again and then I can comment something.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Shivananda is an Ayurvedic doctor.
I found it. I'll post it in the group chat.
Wait, and oh, okay, yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Sachinandan, Jai Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jai Gaura Hari, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Anitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Would you like to do Jaidwani?
Jai Nitil Guru Goranga Gandharvika Girihari Shishi Vinabhiri Radha Raman Bihari Radha Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Nitilila Prabhishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitilila Prabhishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Bhaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhakti Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitilila Prabhishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Since I'm in the temple of Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj, Nitilila Prabhishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Shri Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitilila Prabhishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Saparshad Jagaguru Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Mahabhagavat Prabhu Shri Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Saptam Goswami Satchirananda Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatana Bhattaraguna Shri Jiva Gopal Bhattadas Vigna Shri Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Ramananda Rishi Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Prem se Go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Śrīvāsa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Radha Krishna Gop Gopi Go Govardhan Dwadash Vanam Shivaja Mandal Dham Ki Jai. Radha Gun Shyam Kun Yamranganga Bhakti Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Sarva Vishta Pradata Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashankari Shri Nisingha Bhagavan Ki Jai. Bhakta Pravar Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ju Ki Jai. Charidham Chari Acharya Chari Sampradaya Ki Jai. Akar Mathara Shri Caitanya Mat Ki Jai. Dainik Nadīyā Prakāśa Ki Jai. Tribhuvra Mangal Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Online Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. Thank you everyone and Dandavat Pranams.
Vancha kalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandava pranams.
Very good, Prabhu.
Thank you.
So this crushing fresh dry bay leaves and breast milk means these types of options that like breast milk is quite healthy for eyes, even for the nose. It for the hairs, it is recommended to put into the nostrils. Breast milk.
Really?
Next,
In
this
Ayurveda, huh?
yes. And the next is a paste of honey and nirmali phal, which is mentioned here for applying inside, like anjan, jnananjana chalaka, we call it as anjan inside the eyes. So this nirmali phal is seeds of lotus.
Ah,
Those are
sure.
available in maybe in some vegetable markets. Maybe here in Nasik we have available in this vegetable markets or some grocers, medicinal shops. Nirmali phal. Then a few drops of one rati fitkari, means alum, and 1 ounce of rose water applied to the eyes is available. This is also very common remedy, which is traditionally used in household practice for eyes. It's netra, means it's healthy for eyes to put this maybe even 2-3 times a week at night. It's very good recipe. Then one single drop of 1 tola lotus honey. This is special. I think this may not be available now. Lotus honey or any other honey with 2 annas of Śrī Karpur. Basically, putting honey in eyes is very irritating at first. It causes very, you can say, little burning like, but it clears the eyes very soon. And putting Śrī Karpur, that's again rather putting Karpur inside honey camphor is also little more irritating to the eyes, but eventually it cleans the eyes. One can apply it in once in a week, not daily.
Just
It also in
yesterday.
long term it also reduces your number, means focal number for your spectacles or something like that.
Just yesterday, I was reading from Srila Gaura Govinda Goswami Maharaj. There's this book. What is it called? The Worship of Sri Guru. And it was our, like, every day we have a quote that we use for our nurturing the seed session. And so I just opened up to a random page and picked a random paragraph, and that was going to be the quote for the day. And it was about that. It was about Padma Madhu that you apply on the eyes.
Yes,
like
that
Sri
is
Guru, the Padma Madhu of Sri. He's explaining Sri Guru Charana Padma. And anyways, it's just interesting that I just randomly came across that last night, and then we're reading about Padma Madhu.
And this last aloe vera mixed with equal amount of mishri. Basically, aloe vera jelly is a little bitter in taste, and eating it in the morning will heal you in a week. I think it's mentioned for scabies or any type of such skin diseases, because aloe vera cleans your bile, right? Liver cleansing medicine. So it is mentioned the significant amount is expelled in the first 2 days, and for external application, it is recommended here leaf water of neem leaf or carbolic soap or warm water. Scabies is commonly in this rural India. It is found in particularly in kids, small kids who play outside in the mud or something. We can say it's a contagious disease.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Thank you, Prabhu. That was very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's nice to have like confirmation of these from an actual doctor, because I wasn't sure if I'm translating the right thing. Like when I was like, aloe vera, like really, you can eat aloe vera and it will help your skin. So it's great to get the confirmation.
All right, so if anybody wants to read these articles, all these articles are available on nadiyaprakāśa.com. And also, I highly recommend everybody go to bigdrum.us. That's Śrīvāsa's website, where he's always posting lots of things in English for the first time, lots of words from our acharyas. And so, yeah, bigdrum.us. You can subscribe there and you'll receive it in your inbox every time there's something new. Thank you so much for joining. Dandavat pranams. Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Shubhananda Prabhu. Oh, I see Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj is there. Dandavat pranams Maharaj. Shri Devi Didi, Ashray Prabhu, Anjali Didi, and Rukmini Didi, Raseshwari Mataji, Vidyalala Didi, and so many other devotees. Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for joining. See you either tomorrow for the Bhaktivinoda Thakur program or next week for next Nadīyā Prakāśa session. Dandavat pranams. Thanks so much, Śrīvāsa, for doing this service. Haribo.
Haribo. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat pranams.